So, I'm just going to dive right into the content. We're going to start with finished objects, of which I have 4. One of them I had finished before the last episode, but I had forgotten about it completely. And so I'm going to get you. Uh-oh.
Anyway.
All right, hey. He needs his lunch.
Then go eat it. You haven't even touched it.
All right.
Neither of you.
All right, shh.
It's almost
gone. Lord. I'm recording.
Hello, Mother's fans.
Must I use this to get everyone out of this room?
No.
Then go.
No. All right, let's try this again. So, I had actually finished this sweater before the previous episode, but I had completely forgotten about it, and I don't know what happened except that I was just completely disorganized. And hopefully, this episode is slightly more organized.
By the starting of this video, I doubt it.
No comments from the peanut gallery. Okay, so that finished object is flax.
Let me,
No, hang on. Okay. So, it's Flax by Tin Can Knits. Woo! There's bright. Okay, there, it's adjusted. And so this is on Yarn Love. I believe it's Juliet base. It is the colorway Birthday Cake. And so it's fingering weight held double. No. What am I even talking about? Yes. Yes. This is why I knit so much. It's crazy here. Okay.
Everyone wants an opportunity to be on the internet.
Apparently. Okay. Alright, so yes, I did hold it double. It is a fingering weight, and so it's fairly dense, but it's pretty beautiful. So this is knit for baby due in January, our little baby. I bought this yarn, and I love the colorway when I bought it, and then after I bought it, I wasn't as in love with it anymore, and so it has languished in stash for a long time. And I thought, well, holding it double, it should keep it from flashing or doing any weird stuff. And then I knit it up. Oh, sure, look at that, no flashing. It's gorgeous, and she'll love it, and she'll look beautiful in it, and we're just going with it. So there you go. But it's a beautiful, luscious texture. The yarn is very soft, very beautiful. The colors are perfect for a baby, and with all the different colors in there, it's got blue and purple and orange and yellow and pink and a sort of a minty green. She can definitely wear this with a lot of different outfits. I am probably going to look for 1 or 2 either sleepers or overalls to put over it so that it's has a few things to go with. Okay, so that was the finished object, the FO, that I have forgotten to tell you about last time. So here it is. So, and now I have 2 other finished objects. And the big one, okay, if you're still knitting on the Mountain Musings Mystery Knit Along, don't look. If you're looking to not have the mystery spoiled for you. So spoiler alert, I'm about to show the whole thing. I did finish it, and actually I finished it not a week ago, but close. I think I finished it Friday or Saturday or something like that. And so I felt really good about making the deadline, which is today, October 20th. I should have said so at the beginning that today's October 20th, Thursday. But anyway, there you go. So if you don't want to have the mystery spoiled for you, please look away now. I will say when I'm done showing it. So I'm going to show it for just a minute and then I'll put it back down. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, you. Get out of here. It's like the beginning of Star Wars where the spaceship never ends. Peekaboo! Get out of here.
You've lost. You've given all
right.
privileges.
Okay, it's put back down now. All right, hopefully that was slow enough that you could. There's not enough Thorazine in the world. So the next, with the Mountain Musings cowl, Mountain Musings shawl. This was a sort of a goal-oriented finish knit that, because I've had so much trouble like with my mojo lately, I really wanted something a little bit harder or a little bit more ambitious and a little bit more intricate and a little bit more thoughtful to knit on, and this seemed perfect. And I love Paper Daisy's designs, Paper Daisy Creations, Lisa K. Ross. I really like a lot of her designs, and I've test knit for her before, and I've always been very happy with her designs, and some of them I've knit more than once. And her other stoles, shawl, were gorgeous, and I didn't do a mystery knit along with those, and I decided that that would be the thing that okay, so, and I'm back. Things got just a little too crazy in the asylum, so I had to sort of work on dialing back the crazy. Say hi! It's like, no, I want to see. I don't want to be seen. So with that Mountain Musings Mystery Knit Along stole, I was hoping that it would be a challenging enough and a mindful enough project that it would help me sort of get my mojo back, and I think it did that, because I was feeling just kind of lost and kind of unproductive as a knitter. Because I'd had so much problems with my mojo from the rest of the year, and I wanted something interesting enough and intricate enough and something else going on to help keep me going, to help me sort of get back that mojo and to sort of reclaim that sense of accomplishment that I get out of knitting that was missing with all of my sort of misstarts with the earlier part of the year's mojo loss and false starts and frogging. The frog fest that happened at the beginning of the year. So, and it did that. So I got a little bit behind at one point, and which is fine. But you know, my type A perfectionist was like really sort of frustrated about it. But that's when I let myself start or work on some other projects that I had going to sort of cleanse my palette, because I'm not typically a monogamous knitter, and I had been working I had been working on it monogamously, and it sort of was just getting too much at that time. And so after a night or so of letting myself work on something else, I was back to loving working on the stole. So today was the last day of the knit along for prizes, but of course everybody who's not finished, they're going to keep knitting and chatting, and that's great. And I don't comment very often, but I will be reading along with all of the ladies who were knitting along with us and cheering them on as they discover their stoles too. And it's really beautiful. I had been a little worried about the gray, which is Bohemian Waxwing, because the yarn that I used for the kit was Miss Babs for fingering in the colorway Leaf Peeping. Angus, please don't do that. And the contrast, that was the mini skein set of 7 colors, and then the main color, the contrast, was Bohemian Waxwing, which was that gray. And I was a little concerned that the gray would sort of dull things down a little too much, but I think in the end it was really well balanced, and I really do like the final product. And I am going to get some wear out of it as the weather has suddenly turned cooler. So I'm really excited about that and really proud of that as a finished object. So the other objects that I have that are finished objects, it's 2 of a set of 3 of Sophie's scarf that I'm knitting by Petite Knit, and my three of my best in real life non-knitting friends, although one of them does knit. I guess 2 of them knit, but I mean they're not obsessive about it the way I am, so it's a hobby for them, not an obsession like it is for me. So and so I've knit for, I think I've knit for 2 of them before, the knitters before, but this will be the first time that my 3rd friend will be getting a knit from me, and she's excited. So, and I'm excited for her to get it too. So I finished 2 of them. The 3rd one I will probably finish tomorrow. It's a quick knit, the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit. It's a really simple scarf. It's not mindless because you have to make because you're in trouble. You have to make sure to increase every 8 rows, and then so it's not completely mindless, but it's mindless enough that it's it is kind of potato chippy. You can do this watching TV. Just stop every couple rows to make sure that you haven't gone too far. I use a little stitch marker that I just mark my increased row, and it's got a beautiful applied I-cord on both sides. Otherwise the center is garter stitch, and it makes basically like an ascot looking cowl. So it is a scarf, but I mean it's sort of worn like a tied cowl, and it's really, they're gorgeous. And so I saw these and I thought, oh, my friends, this would look good, with their coat. All 3 of them are very dignified women, and so I thought this would look really good on each of them. So let me put you down, babe. So the first one that I finished, and I went in alphabetical order for my friends on which ones to finish. So the first one, it was knit on Nora George DK, and the colorway is called Peacock, and this is it. Oops, and it's got some beautiful, it's coming up a little more blue, but it's a very pretty teal and purple, or maybe it's more of a it's a dark teal and purple, and there's some like steel blue gray, a lighter blue, teal, and a little bit of green in there, sort of a foresty green. So it's just a beautiful complex colorway that I love, and I know she will too. It'll match her coat and hats that she has that she wears with them, so it's really good. It's good for her. And that just went by really quickly, and I was really surprised that it was just you know, I mean, it's not huge. You can see, right? Like it's not huge, and I'm not sure whether the point is up or down, but anyway, you start it in the front, bring it around, and you tie it like this. This is the longer version, and so it's sort of ascot looking. And when you have your coat on with the collar to sit here, it'll cover your neck without messing too much with the top of your coat, and your neck is totally covered. And I think that just looks, I think it looks fabulous. So there's the first one. The second one is on Black Trillium DK Superwash Merino in the colorway Super Happy. And so you can see there. And I have used this colorway in a lot of projects. I haven't really been able to use it for a sweater. It just, I don't know, it just has not worked for me for the sweaters that I've tried it. And so I wonder if I just need to knit something a little more plain to let the bold speckles come out, because when using this for a hat or a scarf or something like that, where it's fairly simple, the colors and the speckling are just fantastic. Bought her out when she was when she had it available and went out of business. Still bitter about that, but when I lose a favorite yarn dyer, man, it hurts my heart. But it's okay, I have her yarn and I'm getting years of love out of it, and I'm getting years of love out of the finished objects too, so that really helps. The third one, so now we're moving on to works in progress, and I will finish this third one probably tomorrow. And I just caked this up 2 weeks ago, and I've already lost the ball band, but it's some sort of fingering, which I'm holding double to get a DK, and it's got some cashmere. It's a cashmere merino blend, and I can't remember for the life of me, and it's coming up blue when really it's a dark teal with hints of black and forest green. Oh! Okay, the light's back. I don't know why green is so hard to color to make it appear true on the camera, but it really is. This is just an absolutely gorgeous dark teal green emerald. It's just gorgeous. But it is fingering held double, cashmere blend, and maybe if I hold it up here you can see some of the color shading in there that makes it so rich and luscious. And I think, I don't know, this is one of my favorite colors, and I think this is turning out spectacularly. So I'm really excited to finish this one. I'm probably not going to make my friends wait until Christmas, because it'll get cold enough to wear them before Christmas. And I don't know if I'll have enough energy to get it mailed in time to not be either super early or super late, depending on what's going on life-wise at that time. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and mail them off, probably Monday, because I'll want to wash and block them, get some proper pictures for Rav, and then I'll send them off to my friends. So I've got a whole bunch of other works in progress, but I kind of want to focus on one project at a time. I am working on the baby blanket that I talked about last time. I don't have much progress to show because I was really focusing on finishing those other couple of projects. And I'm going to let that be sort of my reserve knitting of when I need a break, of when I need a break from my main knitting. So what I'm going to knit on, that's not it. What I'm going to be working on, oh there it is, most of the time is going to be Dog Star by Tin Can Knits, and that's what I am using that Nordic wool on. And I have not knit on it yet, more than I showed you last time. But this will get started being worked on sometime tomorrow. And it's that Rowan Nordic wool in the blue and the red and the white and the gold. And I'm really excited about that because I want to make sure to get that done. I'm sort of, so now just general knitting talk. I'm sort of in the finish-itis stage. I've got stuff and I want to finish things, but they need to be shorter duration things for right now because I have some deadlines that I need to meet, and those are smaller projects. So I can't really spend a lot of time on larger projects that don't have a deadline or whose deadline is more flexible. But I still need to work on not letting myself get bogged down with too much project monogamy. And that's something that I struggle with, is project monogamy, because I tend to get kind of intense about things, and if I don't stop and do something else, I really just it sort of steals the joy of working on it at all, because I start to drive at it, and it's no longer a mindful process that I enjoy. It's the goal-oriented, driven, finish it. And that just, I'm knitting for fun, and if I'm, okay baby, all right, let's go do it. And if I don't, sort of like, it's like if, let's take a analogy from dogs. You know, if a dog gets fixated on something and you want to prevent them from attacking or lunging, you have to break their attention. And that's kind of like how I am with project monogamy. If I don't break my attention on that one, I, you know, sort of attack the project and sort of myself in being overly hypercritical, in getting burned out. And so to prevent that, I break my attention with another project. So I am going to be working on that sweater, which I'm sure that I will enjoy. I love color work, and you know, it's a 6 to 12 month size. And so it's not a long slog. But there will be times when I need to stop and work on the blanket, just as like a mindless paper, you know, potato chip TV knitting, where I don't have to pay attention. But of course that's an Aran weight blanket, so those are big needles. And then the Dog Star is it's a DK or a worsted, and so those are biggish needles too. So I might have to let myself work on something with smaller needles, which would probably be the house socks, which are also Christmas knitting, but those are on super tiny needles. So I probably will switch among those. So life stuff is next. If you're not interested in that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you're interested in life stuff, that was blah, 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 blah. The baby barking at me. He loves to pretend to be a dog, as 2-year-olds do. And so we've had sort of an adventurous couple of weeks. Things, my health-wise, things are good. Things are actually, you know, looking up. And the baby has jumped in percentiles, so we're no longer as concerned about that. And she's constantly growing and very active on a very regular basis. Not quite clockwork, but essentially, you know, almost. Shh. And so we're really thrilled that she's strong and healthy, and that my health is sort of evened out. The kidney stuff is evened out. So all of that is really good. Little 2-year-old man over there had an accident with his foot, and we had to take him to the emergency room to get stitches. And I am usually the Zen one. Like, if there's a crisis, I am cool. I was not cool. So, I mean, we worked it out, and he was cool. I mean, he was just like, okay, cool. You know, when it hurts, I'm going to cry, but otherwise, I'm just like, whatever. You know, when you're messing with it, I'm going to be upset, but otherwise, I'm just kind of going to watch you. And he didn't fight them to do what they needed to do, which was amazing. He was just a very cool, calm, and collected dude, and much cooler than I was, and I wasn't injured. Anyway, but he's doing great now. He's healing up really well. Babies are just like miracle workers with recovering and repairing injuries. Like, it's like nothing happened. Wish I had that much healing power. See what else is going on. It just feels like things have been chaotic for a couple of weeks. The air quality here has been so bad. Like, we have not been able to be outside for weeks. Here in northern western Washington, the forest fire smoke has just come straight up at us, and because we're in the North Cascades, and we've had smoke air quality in like the 400s, and I'm not kidding. It's really, they're like, stay inside and limit your activity even inside, and, you know, get out those air purifiers. Yeah, it's really been bad, and I've just been feeling. Remember that scene from Poltergeist with the pea soup and the projectile vomiting? Yeah, that's what I felt like. And even my oldest daughter has been having headaches and battling that off and on. And my husband now is just like, he feels like he's got the flu, but he really doesn't. It's upper respiratory irritation. And I bought 2 extra air purifiers so that we've got one in each of the main rooms that we inhabit through most of the day, and then we can use them in the bedrooms. And so it is better than it could be, and it's better than it was, but it's still just awful. It's just awful. And we just have not had any rain for months. Well, it rained a little bit today, and they're calling for a bunch of rain tomorrow. So fingers crossed that we can get that stuff cleared down, and that the rains will help put out that fire, and then all of us can breathe a lot more easily here in Western Washington. And I'm really kind of bitter about not being able to be outside, because now if it's going to be completely rainy, I really can't sit outside on my deck. And in fall, that's my favorite thing to do. Sit outside with some coffee and my knitting. But in like 50 degree air and raining, I really don't feel like it. I get cold, and then I get mad about being cold. But that's my favorite fall activity. You're watching the leaves fall, you hear the birds going, and it's just beautiful. Just that whole change of season is my favorite. And I haven't been able to be outside because of the air quality. And then now I won't be able to be outside for at least a week because of the rain. And then I don't know if it's going to warm up enough to be out there. And the rain may wash down most of the leaves anyway. So feeling a little bit robbed of my favorite season. Which, it's even better that I have the Mountain Musings stole that I can wrap myself in and remember what I could see from inside. But it's really just not the same to sit inside and look out the window. It's just, you don't hear the birds, you don't feel the breeze as it's still warm but got a hint of cool to it, and you don't, it's not the same seeing the leaves fall like just in the breeze rather than through a glass. It just isn't the same. And you can hear the leaf like hitting the trees on the way down, and you can hear it hit the ground, and you can hear the bears and the deer going by, and I just love that, and that really hasn't been possible. So when it's not raining so much, I'm going to try to bundle up in layers of wool. As a knitter, this is my life skill, right? I'm preparing for this. But if my hands get cold, it's not good to knit with. But we'll try it. I'm gonna try it. And see if I can knit outside for at least a day or two before it really turns too cold. So we're gonna try. I think that's it. Did some baking, did some nice comfort food cooking, and we did some harvesting. We had a really good harvest of carrots, and so those have been going in stews and pot pies, and the tomatoes finally turned red. A bunch of them we just had to harvest and let them redden on the counter, and it took longer than anticipated, but they were still really good. They still tasted really good. So I've been really happy about that. Sort of planning out the next garden and some things that I want to add more of for some of the meals that I want to be making more of, and yeah, just sort of planning out the next year's planting. I'm thinking about things that I might be able to plant this fall, like soon. Thinking maybe garlic. Not sure what else. So if you've got any ideas, just shoot me a message or leave a comment. So that's really it. That's what we've been doing here. Schooling, chores, cooking. So that's it. That's all for me. I hope you guys are enjoying your projects, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. Yeah? Do you want to say hi? Come here. You want to say hi? Whoop, whoop, whoop. You're below the thing. All right, look, look. Say hi. Say hi. You want to show your truck? Show your truck. Say bye. Bye.